So let us see now the oxidation state. Now oxidation state, if you consider the oxidation state of transition elements, then they can show the variable oxidation states here. They can show variable oxidation state. Why? Because with s orbital, the d electron also participate in the bond formation, as the energy difference in between s and d is very small, almost same. The energy difference in between s and d orbital is almost same or very negligible, and hence the d electron can also participate in the bond formation, and so the transition element can show the variable oxidation states here. If you consider first one, scandium, then there are 2 electrons in the s orbital and 1 electron in the d orbital. So scandium can show +3 oxidation state, and it is a fixed one. If you consider the last one, zinc, then in case of zinc also, it shows only one oxidation state, and that is a +2, because 2 electrons are in s orbital and d orbital is a completely filled orbital here. So it shows only one oxidation state, and that is a +2, and it is a stable oxidation state. What about titanium? In case of titanium, there are 2 electrons in s orbital and 2 electrons in d orbital. So it can show +2 oxidation state, then +3 oxidation state, and +4 oxidation state also. So in case of titanium can show, it can lose 2 electrons also, or sometimes it can lose 3 electrons, sometimes it can lose 4 electrons also. So maximum 4 electrons are there in the outermost shell, and so it can show maximum, at most it can show the +4 oxidation state. Then which one? As scandium shows only one, +3 oxidation state. Zinc shows +2 oxidation state, only state is there. As in case of zinc, d orbital is completely filled, it can remove only 2 electrons, and it can show the +2 oxidation state here. So here, which one is a stable one out of these 3 oxidation state? So last one, 4 +4 is a stable state. I'll write this with green pen, +4. Here also only one oxidation state, so this is also +3 is a stable one. Here also in case of zinc, +2 is a stable oxidation state. What about vanadium now? In case of vanadium, overall 5 electrons are there in the outermost shell. So it can, at most it can show the +5, highest oxidation state is a +5, and in last orbital 2 electrons are there. So first is it can remove 2 electrons also, so +2 oxidation state. Then it can show +3 oxidation state, then it can show +4 oxidation state also, and last one is a +5 oxidation state. Vanadium, last one is a +5, also it can show. So overall 5 electrons are there in the outermost shell, so it can remove all the 5 electrons and shows the +5 oxidation state, and this is a stable oxidation state here. What about chromium now? 6 electrons are there, 6 unpaired electrons are there, so it can show from +2. So in case of chromium, the oxidation state is ranges from +2, also +3, then +4, then +5, and also it can show +6 oxidation state. Out of this +6 oxidation state also. So out of all these oxidation state, +3 and +6, these are the stable oxidation states here. So for chromium, the oxidation states are, as 6 electrons are there in the outermost shell, it can remove all the 6 electron and acquire +6 charge, or it can remove 3 electrons, 2 electron from s orbital, 1 from d orbital, and acquire plus 3 oxidation state. And out of these two, plus 3 and plus 6 is a stable oxidation state here. What about Mn here? Total 7 electrons are there, but out of these 7 electrons, it can lose last 2 electrons. Then it can lose 3 electrons also. Then plus 4 also, plus 5, then plus 6 and plus 7 also. So plus 7 also. But out of this, the stable oxidation state, it can form stable compound with plus 2 and plus 7. Then one more thing is there about Fe. Fe, 6 electrons are there in the d orbital and 2 electrons are in the s orbital here. And out of 6 electron, that means 1 electron pair is there and remaining 4 electrons are unpaired electrons. So it can show plus 2 oxidation state, 2 electron from last orbital, so plus 2, then plus 3, then plus 4 and plus 6 also. So in case of Fe, these are 4 plus 2 plus 6. 5 is not possible because one electron pair is present there. 5 electrons are placed singly and then pairing takes place. So one suborbital is completely filled. It contains a pair of electrons. So remaining 4 electrons are only available to donate. For cobalt, 7 electrons are there in the d orbital. That means 2 pair of electrons are there. Only 3 electrons are unpaired and 2 in the last orbital. So for cobalt it is a plus 2 or it is a plus 3 or it is plus 4 also. So out of this, two and this 4, these are the stable oxidation state. For Fe, I'll show here only, I forgot to show. For Fe, plus 2 and plus 3, these are the stable oxidation states. Then the next will go for nickel. For nickel, plus 2 is the stable oxidation state. For nickel, plus 2 is the stable oxidation state, and along with plus 2 it can show plus 3 oxidation state also. Then for copper, again plus 2 plus 1 and plus 2 is 2 oxidation state it can show. It can remove 1 electron from s orbital or it can remove 2 electrons also, but it can form the stable compounds with plus 2 oxidation states. So these are the variable oxidation states of the transition elements. This variation is why? Variation is due to participation of the d electrons in the bond formation there. As d electron participate in the bond formation, why these are participating? Because the energy difference in between s and d orbital is a very small. That means it is almost same, and so they can participate in the bond formation, and hence the transition metal can show variable oxidation state. Then one more thing, which one is the lowest oxidation state and which one is the highest oxidation state? How you are supposed to find out it? Then the lowest oxidation state, I'll write here. For transition element, I'll write Te. For transition element, the lowest oxidation state is what? The number of electrons present in s orbital. The lowest oxidation state is total number of electron, total number of electrons in ns orbital. In ns orbital. While in case of higher oxidation state, which one is a higher oxidation state? Higher oxidation state is nothing but it is a sum of total number of electrons, total number of electrons of which n minus 1 electrons of n minus 1 d orbital and ns orbital. And these are the unpaired electrons there. N minus 1 d orbital, total number of unpaired electrons. Actually, these are total number of, I'll write here only, unpaired electrons of n minus 1 d orbital and number of electrons in ns orbital is the highest oxidation state. So this is about the variable oxidation state and the stable oxidation states here. In case of transition element, they can form the stable compounds with higher oxidation states also. In case of p block element can form stable compounds with lower oxidation state, and this is because of inert pair effect here. In case of p block element, they can show the inert pair effect. What is the inert pair effect? The electrons in s orbital, outermost s orbital, remains unshared here. They didn't take part in the bond formation. They remains unshared, and that's why these are tightly bounded with the nucleus. They do not take part in the bond formation. This is the inert pair effect, and that's why the p block element can show the stable compounds with lower oxidation state. But in case of transition element, they can form the stable compounds with higher oxidation state also. And the higher oxidation state, you can take example of higher oxidation state, you can take with titanium, that is TiF4. Then with vanadium, what is the highest? VF5. Plus 5 is the highest oxidation state. Then in case of chromium, it is CrF6. Then in case of Mn, it is Mn. We'll take this with MnO3F. Then for Fe, you can take Fe. Plus 6 is the highest oxidation state for Fe. So for Fe, it is Fe F6. Then COF4. Here it is, you can take NiCl2 or CuCl2 or ZnCl2. These are the stable oxidation. They can show only plus 2 oxidation state. But all these compounds can form the stable compounds with higher oxidation states also, the transition element. And in this case, the fluorine can stabilize the higher oxidation state of transition metal. So I'll write one more sentence here, that fluorine and oxygen also, fluorine and oxygen can stabilize the higher oxidation state and this is due to what? Due to high due to high lattice enthalpy and bond enthalpy. Bond enthalpy. Oxygen can show due to high lattice enthalpy and bond enthalpy. Only fluorine can show the oxidation state. Higher oxidation state, it is due to high lattice enthalpy and bond enthalpy. But oxygen can stabilize the higher compound, and oxygen can stabilize the higher oxidation state due to what? Due to tendency of multiple bond formation. Multiple bonds. Tendency of multiple bond formation. So the fluorine, the compound, that means these transition metal with fluorine can form, that means the compound with highest oxidation state can form the stable compounds with fluorine only. Why? Because the lattice energy of fluorine is high, also the bond enthalpy of fluorine is high. What is the lattice energy? Lattice energy is nothing but just it is an energy released when two ions are combined together to form a compound. And when the energy released to form the compound is higher, it is also required. It is energy required to break the energy is also higher. That means the compound is a stable compound, and that is the lattice energy. So lattice energy is nothing but it is energy released when two ions combine together to form the compound, and this energy is higher in case of fluorine. Fluorine shows the higher lattice energy, and so it can form the stable compounds with higher oxidation state. What is a bond enthalpy? Bond enthalpy is nothing but it is a bonding strength. It has a strong bonding strength, and so it can form the stable compounds with higher oxidation state. What about oxygen? Oxygen can stabilize the higher oxidation state. Then this is because it has a tendency to form the multiple bonds here, like double bond or triple bond. We'll take an example of Mn2O7. So this compound is a stable compound. The Mn, and then it attached with double bonds with 3 oxygen atoms. So this is the structure of Mn2O7, where oxidation state of Mn is a 7 and the compound is stable compound. So oxygen can stabilize the higher oxidation state due to tendency of formation of multiple bonds here. So this is about the oxidation state. In a transition element can show the variable oxidation state, and this is because of the participation of n-1 d electrons in the bond formation. Then there is no much difference in between the n-1 d orbital and ns orbital there. That means the energy is almost same, so they can participate in the bond formation, and hence the oxidation state of transition element is the variable oxidation state. The transition element can show the stable compounds with lowest oxidation state also, and also they can show the stable compounds with highest oxidation state with fluorine and oxygen. Fluorine can stabilize the higher oxidation state due to high lattice enthalpy and bond enthalpy there, while oxygen can stabilize the higher oxidation state due to the tendency of multiple bond formation. So this is about the oxidation state. Next time we'll see the another point there.